Hi all, welcome aboard Marji Bee. At the end of our last video, we were about to start our journey home from Abingdon after the Freeman Owners Mid-Thames Meet. Having been delayed for 24 hours due to a hydraulics failure at Sandford Lock, in this video we share with you our race against time to get home. We had to show a lot of patience and enjoyed a lot of camaraderie, but the big question was, were we going to get home? Because what I can share with you is that it was a dark end to the journey. That's a little bit close. So we had planned on leaving Abingdon on the Sunday afternoon after meeting up with friends for lunch at the Nag's Head, but news had already started filtering through that the lock failure had happened at Sanford, so we stuck around on Sunday night and left on the Monday. So there was only a couple of us left there of the gang for the meet, and while we had planned on having a relaxing trip back spread over 2 days, we knew that we were in a race against time to get home because we only had the Monday afternoon to do it. So we thought it would be best to make our way up to Sanford relatively early, so while we knew there was going to be a queue there, we would at least see if we could get there to join the first filling of the lock when it reopened, on the hope that it would reopen. And we were lucky enough to just find space at the end of the lock landing and settled in for what was probably a 2 or a 3 hour wait. I think we got there about midday, and we popped up to the lock to see what the state of play was, and when we got there and realised it wasn't really that good news. And we were joined on our trip back by Pete and Annie and Don Pedro, who are our regular cruising buddies on the Upper Thames all year round. But when we got to Sandford Lock and we wandered up to talk to Paul, the lock keeper, and the engineers, we realised it was serious problems, because what happens with these locks is there are hydraulic pipes that run down through the lock chamber to power the lock gates and the sluices on the other side, and these conduits carry about 6 or 7 separate tubes that when one fails you can swap it over to the next, when that fails you swap it over again. And what we found was that on the Sunday the last option of cables had failed, so when that happens they have to close the lock and start replacing cables all the way down through the lock chamber, which is why there were divers there. So despite us getting there I think about midday and other boats turning up and rafting up ahead of us, I think we had to wait until it was about 3 o'clock before the lock started filling, and they tested it and started filling the lock with boats again. But Paul, the lock keeper, managed the situation perfectly. He was cheery and kept us all informed, and absolutely remembered in what order all of the boats had turned up, because some came down and joined the front of the queue, some rafted up ahead of us, but he knew exactly what order we were there and what order to call the boats in for that first lock filling, because I think everyone was keen to get in and get moving, but I think no one was more keen than us, because no one had as long a journey as us that day.
Onto our left-hand side.
Left-hand side.
I'll have a go at those steps. Yeah, the first bollard after the steps.
I might get to the second one. I'm going to go for the
We can go to the second one. Yeah, we can probably take both of those. Yeah.
I'm going to go for the steps.
Yeah. Thanks, Paul.
Now, it doesn't usually happen at Sandford Lock because it's so big, but lock keepers on the Thames really show their knowledge and experience when the river is busy, when they work out that Tetris match of fitting all the boats in the best way to get everyone through as quickly as possible. And Paul did it perfectly that afternoon. And yet again, as with coming up through the river where we saw Marji Bee's previous owners, Peter and Hilary came out to see us in the lock as we were making our way upriver as well.
Nice knowing you all. And Paul, I'd say don't forget to put that request in about Freeman's.
Freeman's free.
The whole registration thing. Yeah. Cool. Oh yeah, I'll wait for Larkspur first. Yeah. Oh, that's true.
One hand for you, one hand for the boat.
Lovely to see you both.
Take care.
See you soon.
Bye.
And that little exchange with Paul was a lovely little comment he made, that he thought that the Thames suited Freeman's, or Freeman suited the Thames. They both go hand in hand, he felt, and he wanted to put a request into the Environment Agency that Freeman's should have free licences to cruise on the River Thames. It wasn't that long a trip to get up to Iffley Lock from Sanford, and I didn't want to start overtaking boats so we all stayed in order. But when we got to Iffley Lock, I did take the opportunity to have a word with a couple of the skippers ahead of us and ask if it was okay if we came past them on our way up to Osney, because we had a long trip ahead of us and literally every minute was going to count in our attempts to get home before it got dark. And they were wonderful. It's like, yep, no problem, you come past us. So we did so, not breaking the limit. We stuck within the speed limit, but we were pushing to get home at this point already, because we knew it was going to be touch and go.
Thanks very much.
But actually, even without any prompting from me, the lock keeper at Iffley had mentioned to the canal boats, look, let the cruisers pass, they're going to be a little bit quicker than you, so everyone will then start spacing out and everyone will get home or get to where they need to in the best time. And at this point we were still with Peter and Annie, although they were a little bit further behind, but their plan was to stop over at Osney for the night there and make a much more relaxed trip back.
Thank you.
So we headed on up, but we did buddy up with this cruiser ahead of us, Charlie Bee. They were heading up to Ensham for the night, so we'd had a chat with them at Osney and said, look, let's kind of relay this with the remaining locks that we have, so whoever stayed to close the lock gates and ready it for the next boats, if there wasn't a lock keeper, the other one would go up to the next lock and open it and ready it and wait for them to arrive. So it was a lovely relay all the way up there, and it must have saved us like a good half an hour doing that overall. So if the crew of Charlie Bee watch this, thank you so much. I know we did see you eventually on the Upper Thames a few weeks later and thanked you in passing, but I'll take this opportunity to say I think you helped us out so much that day, and it's very much appreciated.
Which side do you want to go on?
This is us coming through Godstow Lock, and having just checked the timing of the footage, this is 5:15 in the afternoon, a sort of time where we'd normally be thinking about mooring up for the evening, but we've got to get all the way back to our home mooring here. So we knew, and it was really becoming clear in our minds that we were really really up against it, and it was going to
See a
be
little bit.
touch and go as to whether we got home, and we started thinking about contingency plans of
You get them off at Ensham.
if it got dark and we didn't want to cruise, where could we stop over? And it
Good.
kind of consumed our conversations from this point on. And this is us at King's Lock, the last one we shared with Marji Bee. And kind of the point where I start to feel on any trip down the Thames that we're starting to get home. It's kind of like, I don't know if it's geographically because it's this side of Oxford, or because we hit the manual locks rather than the hydraulic locks, but it does feel like we're getting somewhere towards home when we get there. But we were up through Ensham and Pink Hill, and it became very clear to us that with the sun going down at about 20 to 9, we were going to be getting home in the dark, and we had to try and think about what we'd do if we didn't make it.
I kind of said if I'd rather get back in the dark.
I'm thinking that as well.
What, you would?
Would I want to get back in the dark? Pat said you'll be on your home stretch in the dark. Great fun. As long as we can get through Shefford and it's still lightish, I think we could do it. Should we use Shefford as the absolute bailout point and go onto the lock mooring there? Say, are we happy doing this last stretch?
Yeah. How far is it from Shefford? About 20 minutes? No, half an hour.
From Shefford, maybe half an hour. We've got. What time is it dark?
Oh, we've got all the Bailout hives here.
Oh, we've got all of that to do coming up, yeah. But we've got more than 2 hours, and the cruising time.
And I'm thinking if we stopped at Newbridge, we could have a bite to eat in the pub.
Right, Pink Hill to Northmoor, it says 47 minutes. We could do that in less than that. Northmoor to Shefford, 58 minutes.
That's about 2 hours, isn't it?
That's
really?
2 hours, and then another half an hour beyond that. That
2
takes
hours.
us to 9:30, and we've got to do 2 locks. That's like 10 o'clock. I think it's going to be pushing it. I think we're going
It
to
would be quite dangerous to be unloading in the dark as well.
we're going to be unloading in the dark as well. Yeah.
So what if we stopped at Newbridge?
Yeah.
Or would you rather keep
That's-
going to Shefford?
I'd rather stop at Newbridge.
Or go to the pub? We'd have to cook then. And then Newbridge home is
About an hour and a half.
And while we were in a bit of a race against time, we never forget about Eddie and Parker. So we pulled in at the meadow at Bablock Hive to let the boys off to have a run around and do what they needed to do, ready for the rest of the trip home.
Yeah, it was. I think you ran up here at 31, and it's now 34.
You can hear there that our awareness of the time we had left even got us timing ourselves through the locks as well. I think Northmoor was a record.
I feel like you just want to go home.
I feel like I do want to do it. I feel like it would feel like an achievement. It would be like pat on the back. Well done, Will.
And me, we're doing a lot.
Well, yeah, well done, you guys. Yeah.
Can't see behind there, that's it. Can we have a drink when we get home?
Yeah.
And celebrate with a packet of onion rings or something?
So we're like 8 o'clock through here then.
Right, so we're not eating out tonight then. We can blooming treat ourselves for our anniversary, right?
So that was Newbridge completed, and really when we get beyond Newbridge it really feels like we're getting so close to home that it's within touching distance. But we were very aware that the river narrows beyond here with all the overhanging trees, and although it doesn't really show it with the lightness in the sky here, we were starting to lose the light. And I don't know if you noticed it there, but we were starting to prepare for getting back, and Petra removed the pennant from the pulpit.
Right, don't. This is a deep dock, so don't do anything silly, okay? As in, run.
And here we are at Sandford Lock, our last lock before we get home. And it really doesn't show it here, but the light was starting to disappear, and I was starting to realise that we were definitely going to get back in the fading light or even the dark. And this was also our final bailout point, because beyond Sandford there's nowhere to moor. We could have stopped here on the Lock Island, but once we'd made the decision to go through there, that was it. We were getting home and nothing else. And Sandford is a deep lock, so the water pressure through the sluices is high and it fills up quickly. So in the interests of getting through there quickly, I moored right at the back of the lock so that we could get the sluices open and get up and through in the shortest time possible. And as we came out of the lock, it really started to notice that we were losing the light. So I think I'll leave the commentary now to our onboard panicking and discussions of getting home.
Like where it plugs in, sort of like screw it round a bit. Okay, now point it up a little bit. Actually, yeah, aim it up a little bit. Does it pivot up? It's not doing an awful lot, maybe down a bit. See, this is fine here because you've got the reflection of the sky, but when we get into those channels of trees, it's a reflection of the trees. That's the difficult bit.
Pylons, isn't it?
And at this point we realised that the torch was going to help pick out the bank side trees and branches and reeds for us.
Right to the left.
Because
Right to
the
left.
spotlight was just like a marker for straight ahead, but then the river is very narrow here, so it really was slow down and just tiptoe our way home.
Right to the right, I think.
2 miles from the bridge. We're going faster walking pace, so I reckon half an hour will be. Not be half an hour for you, will it?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I so wish we had just half an hour more.
No, but do you think it is half an hour from here?
I hope not. I think 10-foot bridge is about 20 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's 2 miles. Just beyond it, I think it's 2 miles, and that's when I turn around.
That's 20 minutes. Oh, that's if we're going 6 miles an hour, which we're not.
Not so much for our leisurely trip back, eh?
Yeah. Not
quite as leisurely as we'd hoped.
Looks like it's narrow here.
I think it's round to the right now.
Yeah, very narrow.
Oh,
I think there's that tree in front of there.
hang on.
There's a
Yeah,
very
yeah.
small gap. And then round to the left.
And a note to the Environment Agency, if anyone from there is watching, the river really needs cutting back up here. It's getting very overgrown in places, and it's only moments like this that you realise how narrow it is.
Should we get the boys off and into the car strapped in?
Yeah,
So
you get them out of the way,
don't
yeah.
want them falling in or
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
like that.
Round to the right. Yeah.
Bit protein. It'll get a bit lighter right towards the end though, won't it? When we come out of all these trees.
I think so, yeah. It feels like it should do.
When it actually comes out to the mooring there. Hopefully we'll get back, we'll still get to see our strokes and things.
We should be able to, yeah. I'll have the torch out.
And
I'll have the torch out. Yeah, look, there's a pylon.
that's the last of the trees.
I think so. It should start opening up a bit now. I mean, you can see a couple more down there, but I don't think we're out of the woods, I think. And we mentioned the pylon because when we see the first pylons here, we know we're very nearly. It's only a few more bends and we're home. There's trees on the left. Yeah, when there's a lot of these reeds, I feel like we're getting closer to home, and it's going to open up. So we've got 2 more corners, and then we're on the home straight. We've got a little swan. Right, fella, don't go in front of us. So we've got a right and then a left, and we'll see the start of the moorings.
Is the last bend coming up?
This is the last bend coming up on the left, and then we'll start seeing boats. That's a little bit close.
Hey. I don't want to leave the boys longer than I need to.
You would not believe how relieved we were at this point to see the tadpole moorings and be nearly home. Because there were so many times during that afternoon that we didn't think we were going to make it, and then we did, and then we didn't. It was touch and go the whole way back, but we made the decision to do it, and without being silly, without breaking the speed limit, we were respectful all the way. We got there, we'd done it, and we were so pleased to have achieved that, and we're able to go to work the following morning. Yeah,
Right.
coming up to Stravagan now.
Now to squash them. Right, wait there, boys. Good boy. Stay there.
So all that was left was to find our dock in the dark, safely tie up and unload just the necessities, that we needed to. We're going to come back the following evening to get the rest of the bits off and just get home and have a comfy bed for the night. And we made it safely all the way back from Abingdon back home in one afternoon. I hope you enjoyed the journey with us, and I hope there isn't another one quite as nail-biting as that one in the future. We much prefer relaxed cruising up and down the Thames, so with a fair wind it'll be back to business as usual in our next video.
Well done, P.
I did do these last couple of videos a bit out of sequence because I was really keen to get a video out of the Freeman Owners Meet at Abingdon, and as it transpired, our trip back from there as well. But we do have a couple of trips out earlier on in the summer, and I think I've got some footage of a couple of trips after this one as well. So there's more to come, even though technically as I edit this the boating season is over and Marji Bee is craned out and wrapped up for the winter. There's still some videos that I'll pull together to remind you all, or remind us all, of the fun that can be had on the River Thames in the summer.